Vanderbilt at Tennessee. Tennessee minus 2.5 right now, according to BetMGM. A couple of cool rivalry names for this one. You got the Whiskey Barrel Bowl, I-40 Cup, whatever you want to call it, 3:30 Eastern, ESPN. Do not look now, but Vandy's college football playoff hopes are alive. They're breathing. They're on life support. They're alive now, all right? So, Vandy, if you win this game, you feel like you've done your part to be a college football playoff contender. We'll leave it at that. Now, Tennessee, it's not beneath you to play spoiler. I know it feels weird saying, can we spoil Vanderbilt's hopes of being a college football playoff team? I get how that feels, but I'd go back to the offseason where Diego Pavia is talking about Vanderbilt running Tennessee. I'd go back to this idea of just playing in Neyland as well and defending home turf in a rivalry game. If you don't think you have anything to play for against Vanderbilt, I would check your pulse. I think there will be a good amount of emotion on the Tennessee sideline. Here's my question. How does Tennessee go about sorting out the Vanderbilt run game? Notice I say sorting out. I don't question Tennessee's physicality. By the numbers, Tennessee is one of the better run defenses in college football. They got guys in that front seven that have no issue with contact courage or getting downhill with bad intentions or wanting to knock Diego Pavia's head off. I promise you there is a bunch of dudes in that locker room that are down for the cause when it comes to stopping the run. However, what Tim Beck for Vanderbilt and what Diego Pavia for Vanderbilt do so well, give you a lot of eye candy, give you a lot of different things to deal with on the back end. They give you different things on the perimeter to worry about. They give you a to-do list offensively that they're giving you as a defense to try to handle when it comes to sorting it all out. Can you be consistent enough in your integrity when it comes to stopping the run? Okay, because if you can't sort out that jet sweep motion and figure out who has the football, or you get sloppy on your read keys, or you try to do someone else's job because you can make a play, if that happens for Tennessee, that's where you get gashed. That's where those numbers where you are in stopping the run doesn't actually really matter. It's all about, can you actually play your assignment consistently, not get bored with it, keep showing up and stop the run. And if you do that now, you should be, again, personnel-wise, in a pretty good spot to keep Diego Pavia and that backfield at bay. Now, on the flip side, can Joey Aguilar force Vanderbilt to put on the track spikes? Now, I don't want to do the thing where we say, can Vandy score with Tennessee? Because Vandy, in their own right, has been a phenomenal outfit offensively. They've proven they can hang with anybody when it comes to answering scores. Go look at the Texas game and the way they got back into that game. Diego Pavia went for over 3 bills through the air. But we understand that style of game isn't really the kind of game that I think Vanderbilt would prefer to play. They can play it, but they would like to, I think, hold the ball for a while, have the game played probably in the upper 20s, have like 35-plus minutes time of possession favoring the Commodores. Can Joey Aguilar just say, nope, 14-0, you got to match us. Nope, sorry, 9.1 yards a pass, one of the best in college football, got to play with us. Nope, sorry, we're explosive as all get out. You got to be explosive with us. Because if you're not, if you have empty possessions, 2 or 3 of those, we're going to put you in a hole here real quick, and we're going to keep scoring. So you better bring your best as well, Vanderbilt, through the air. You got to also be able to have a little bit of juice to match us on that side of things. Joey Aguilar has got to just not predetermine where he's going to go with the football. And this is not me trying to oversimplify Joey Aguilar's job. Because being a quarterback in the SEC, there's a million things I'm sure he's checking through pre-snap and going through during the week on his keys and all those things. But from the outside looking in, watching the Oklahoma game, it feels a little bit like he would pre-snap, like something, stick with it, think he can make a throw, be married to a decision before the snap, and then it would end up in a turnover for Tennessee. Vanderbilt's good enough up front as a defense to apply some pressure and speed him up. So if we're not processing this in real time, Joey Aguilar, that's where the turnovers happen. That's where things get a little bit uncomfortable. And if you give extra possessions to Vanderbilt, they're going to anaconda squeeze. They're going to run the football. They're ideally probably, when they get turnovers, going to be in a advantageous position on the field-wise to be able to apply some pressure there as an offense. Like, that's the world where you don't want to live if you're Tennessee. Extra bullets for Pavia, bad world for Tennessee. Now, in the same way, Diego Pavia, I do think it's still about running the football for Vanderbilt. But in my opinion, never in college football, especially on Rivalry Weekend, can you turn away any potential advantage. And the advantage here for Vanderbilt is Eli Stowers and that receiving core versus this Tennessee secondary. Y'all, it's not good. is not good. Allowing 255 a game through the air, 112th in college football is Tennessee. Diego Pavia, for all I said about his ability to run the football, he's proven he can beat you through the air. Maybe he's not like the prototypical NFL prospect, but over 300 yards against Texas, that's a good secondary. He's got the chops to beat you. And I go back to Eli Stowers, too. He's got the chops to beat you. He is an NFL kind of prospect with what he is at that tight end / H-back position. So if Tennessee isn't able to hold their water on the back end, and maybe they get a little bit aggressive trying to play the run against Vanderbilt, an explosive play turns into 14 points here pretty quick favoring Vanderbilt, okay, now we have to press. I keep saying how much Vanderbilt wants to run the football. Y'all, Tennessee's a run-first outfit as well. They're also a 53% of the time run the football outfit in Knoxville. So they want to set up the pass game as well. And if you're down 14 points, it becomes a lot harder to do that. Who owns the fudge plays in this spot? You know Diego Pavia is going to get you a few. Break contain, reverse field, puts the ball up in the air. What happens next? Because Tennessee, as much as that secondary has been bad this year, they're also one of the best in the country when it comes to taking the football away. Top 15 in America is Tennessee, averaging right around 2 turnovers a game. Diego Pavia now, in the same way, has had a propensity this year to take a seemingly negative play and turn it into a gash play favoring Vanderbilt or a touchdown or whatever it is. Like, he almost specializes in the chaos. So the fact that both sides of that equation, the Vandy offense and the Tennessee defense, specialize in chaos and seem to thrive in chaos, who gets more of those plays is really what it comes down to. And some of that you can't quantify. It's just kind of rivalry weekend magic and those two sides having competitive plays and seeing what happens with the bounce of the ball. But that in itself, I think, will be a lot of fun to track and a lot of fun to watch. Before I give you my pick in this game, if you want to be at this game, the best way to do that is with our friends over at Game Time, all right? If you're going to be at Neyland, there's not a lot of bad seats in Neyland Stadium, in my humble opinion. Haven't been there before. But if you want to make sure you're just like double and triple checking your view from your seat because it freaking matters to you because you're a college football sicko, you can see the view from your seat using the app before you even purchase it. Also, if you're in the area, maybe you're in Nashville and you want to track what tickets are going for all the way up into the game, you can do that using the Game Time app. Track ticket prices in real time. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code HARDCOUNT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code HARDCOUNT for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Swipe, tap, ticket. So at the end of the day here, I think that as good as Vanderbilt has been this year, I still feel like the right combo of front seven talent plus offensive explosiveness makes them very gettable if they see that in an opponent. I think the Texas game in itself, Vandy climbing back into that was super impressive. Don't want to take anything away from Clark Lee and the boys. However, that had some potential to get out of hand. And I think Tennessee watched that tape, is licking their chops. I think Tennessee wins this game. I think Tennessee covers. I think you're looking at a final score somewhere in the category of like 34-31. I think it's high scoring. The more high scoring this game is, the more I think it favors Tennessee. And also with it being in Neyland, I think that factors in as well. So Tennessee wins a close one. 3 points is the margin of victory. And Tennessee, unfortunately now, ends Vanderbilt's college football playoff hopes on the last week of the regular season.